What is more important to spend your money on if you're a badminton player? You might think buying the most expensive badminton racket will help you the most and is what you should prioritise, however this isn't the case. Here I'll be ranking what I think is more important: your badminton racket, the strings you use, the shoes you have, and finally your racket grip. Of course all of these things are needed to play badminton, but I want to go over which is more important. If you had a budget to spend, what should you choose to spend more money on first? The most important thing you should prioritise in having, and what will overall improve your game the most, is a good pair of badminton court shoes. Having a good pair of shoes with a great grip will massively improve your speed and movement around the court compared to having older shoes and ones which aren't designed for indoor court activities like badminton. You will feel lighter around the court and able to push off the floor better. Not only that, but good shoes will protect your ankles and knees because of the added support that they have, therefore reducing the chance of injury. You don't need to buy the most expensive shoes that there are, but it's good to at least purchase some middle of the range shoes which are specifically designed for an indoor court. All of the popular badminton brands such as Yonex, Victor, Li-Ning, etc. sell them. You can also of course buy really good shoes from popular sports brands such as Nike and Adidas. For badminton it's really important you only wear them while on court and in sports halls, and you don't wear them outdoors, especially in wet weather, as this can affect the performance of them. If you play badminton multiple times per week, I would also recommend changing them about once a year or whenever you feel the grip is wearing away or they are damaged. If you play less, then of course they can last longer, providing they are looked after. Up next, I believe having good badminton strings at the correct tension for you is the second most important thing. This is providing of course the racket you already have isn't a really poor quality. If you still use the factory strings in which come with the badminton racket, or your strings are really loose, this will have a huge impact on your game. The factory strings which come with your racket are usually poor quality and at a low tension so that they are really durable. This is why if you buy a new badminton racket with strings from the factory, you want to replace them. Having a low tension is okay if you play casually or you are a beginner because they last a long time. However, as you become better, you want to try to use a higher tension. This will mean you will get more control and accuracy in your shot. If you look at the professional badminton players, many of them have a string tension of over 30 pounds. Of course I don't recommend to go that high, and you should try out what you prefer the most. But by having the factory strings, or strings which have completely lost their tension, your consistency and control will be reduced. You can say the same about beginners too, and having a really high tension for them will negatively affect their game a lot as well. Not only does the string tension matter, but also the type of string you have. If you use a really unknown badminton string company, it might not be as good quality as a more premium string from a well-known brand such as Yonex or Victor. There are many different types of strings, but you mainly want to look at the thickness and feeling of the strings, as this will impact your game a lot. It's good to research and try different strings to see what you like the most. This will also depend on the level of badminton you play too. Overall, the badminton strings you use are incredibly important. Personally, I would rather have a less expensive badminton racket, but with quality strings at the right tension, compared to having the most expensive badminton racket with low quality strings at a loose tension. That means the third most important thing is your badminton racket. There are so many different badminton rackets you can buy in the market. However, every player is different, therefore choosing the right badminton racket for you is really important. Badminton rackets have different weights and balance points, which affect how they feel. You want to test out different types of badminton rackets to choose one which suits your playstyle. I would recommend buying at least 2 of the exact same badminton racket, providing you enjoy using it. This might mean you have to pay slightly less to buy a racket which is cheaper so that you can purchase 2 of them, but I believe it's more important than just having one expensive one. Having 2 will mean if one of the strings snap in your racket, you will have the exact same racket to pick up and use while it's being restrung. This will stop you having to switch between different rackets each time one of the strings snap. Switching rackets will negatively affect your game and consistency because they will feel different to use, therefore you won't be able to get used to just using one badminton racket. Finally, the fourth most important thing to have is your good badminton grip. The badminton grip you have is still something to really consider, however compared to the other items in this list, it comes last. This is because having a bad grip won't negatively impact your game as much as the other things in this video, such as having a bad racket. There are different types of grips such as an overgrip, replacement grip and towel grip. I know some people that completely hate towel grips, but then some people who love them. You want to use a grip you feel comfortable with. You want to consider how thick the grip is too. Having a badminton grip which is too thick will reduce the power you produce. However, a grip which is too thin can make you lose control of the racket and even cause injury to your elbow. You also want to replace your grip when they start to not feel the same in your hand or get dirty. That's it for my top most important pieces of equipment in order for badminton. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree with my order and if you would change any of them around. Thank you for watching and please subscribe if you enjoyed the video.